Hello, friends, and welcome to our first edition of the Leadership Lens for 2026. A very happy new year to all of you. Today, with us, we have Mandar Sahasrabudhe, CTO of Kirloskar Management Services. Hi, Mandar, welcome to the show.
Hi Anoop, thank you and good morning to all and wish you very happy and a prosperous new year. Happy to be part of this leadership lens series, being the pioneer for 2026. So thank you once again Anoop for inviting me.
Pleasure having you over, Mandar. So we'll straight get into the discussion. You'll appreciate, Mandar, the world, of course, this year and of course going beyond, is rapidly transforming through the rise of the digital economy, affecting the way how we work, live, trade, and govern. So tell us at Kirloskar, how are you redefining the technology function, moving beyond operational excellence to actively drive revenue and business growth? Over to you, Mandar.
Okay. Anup, I think a very good question I would say to start with because what happens is uh, when you focus on a technology, many times you tend to possibly go away from the business KPIs. That's how the technical technology leaders do. But I think in the Kirloskar, what we have done is tech function is now we call it as an enabler or a business partner. It's moved from a path of a more of a support function to being the enabler to the partnership. Right? What I mean by that is they have a individual with the mix of skills, which is a domain skills, a business knowledge, and a tech skills, and that's how this helps to understand the business KPIs, their requirement, and then suggest a solution which could do a real value add. Now, that value add could be in terms of the quantitative or the qualitative KPIs which business wants to achieve. And for this, we have adopted a very approach of a cross skilling of business and tech. And this definitely is going to help me and helps me to find out the point solutions to enable the business growth, efficiency improvement, quick turnaround time, productivity improvement, etc. So that's how we are redefining this technology function from 2026, moving beyond operational excellence, and which would really help to achieve the business KPIs.
Thanks a lot, Mandar. I think today it's largely around business KPIs and what you can do for the business by partnering with the right stakeholders to take things forward. Thanks for that. So moving on, Mandar, you'll appreciate there are a lot of technologies that are emerging, and it's so rampant. We'd like to understand from you, rather, if you could share some of your experiences in driving adoption of some of the emerging technologies within your organization, and how you measure the realized business value from these initiatives.
Sure, Anup. I think again a very good question related to what we talked about, and taking a cue from the business KPIs. Uh, the experience was very overwhelming, I would say, when business really realized that these techs have some potential and how they can leverage it to achieve their KPIs. Now, this KPIs, as I said again, it could be qualitative or quantitative. Everything cannot be measured in terms of ROI, but it could also be the qualitative in terms of operational efficiency improvement, productivity improvement, which indirectly helps for the business ROI. I would just cite an example. For example, one of the business KPI which probably could be used is how do I drive the spare parts business growth. Now nowadays everybody is on a connected products, connected machines kind of a thing. So definitely if I use this connected products or the IoT technology to do a proactive monitoring and the save the time and ensure that my customer gets the right support in the right time, that could drive the spare parts business growth. Or for example, adoption of the new technologies like 4G, from moving from 4G to 5G, which would offer a quick turnaround time for a production, which means a very fast speeds of a CNC, PLC based machining, etc. That would definitely give you increased turnover or a revenue realization, I would say. I think that's how we have defined each and every automation or the tech we adopt. We have defined the business KPIs for it, and we do monitor it regularly. We track it regularly, and that's how we also uh, derive the ROI for it. So that's how we have done.
And I'm sure, Mandar, but I think it's so pertinent because today IT leadership is all about driving revenue. It's no longer an enabler, and you're absolutely bang on. It's about you keep your customers happy, you give them the right service, you keep the experience going, and that in turn at some point will translate into business growth, revenue growth, or it'll have some level of a bottom line impact. But yes, thanks.
In fact, Anup, I always call my function now same like HRBP. I call it as a ITBP. I think that's a new term we should coin. And all the thought behind this is, I always say that it's all about data. Gives you power of CID on a lighter note, which means conviction, power of intelligence, and power of decision making and disruption. So it's very very important nowadays.
So, Mandar, tell us now, with the emerging technologies and so much that you're doing, there is a fair amount of experimenting as well, right, with technology that takes place. So, we'd like to understand how are you balancing between experimenting with new technologies and maintaining operational stability at the same time?
The classic legacy answer to do is to this question is to doing a kind of a proof of concept, which we always used to do earlier. But I think now we have also tried to move away from a POC perspective, because POC would still give you a kind of limited set of results. That's how I always feel. And when you extrapolate them, it could be something different when you go to the production and from a operational stability perspective. So what we have tried to do is, to meet this challenge, we have decided an approach to always do a sandboxing environment, which will be perfectly alike your production environment. You try and test all your new tech there. It could be from your integration perspective, it could be from your functional expertise, it could be from your performance testing, security testing, everything. And once we are satisfied with the results in the sandbox environment, then only we try to deploy it in a operations or a production. And also we take a phase wise approach there, which means the must have tech could be deployed, taking a shutdown in the phase one, then it could be good to have, and then it could be probably the third step. So that's how we are trying to do. So sandboxing environment, moving from the POC, I think is the right approach now, and we all need it.
Excellent. So, Mandar, tell us that, with obviously when you're experimenting, you are looking at emerging technologies. There's a fair amount of investment, that goes in, from a technology standpoint to leverage the business revenue, to leverage the profitability and other things. How can an organization measure the ROI or business value of technology investments today?
So this can be purely measured on a business KPIs achieved and not in isolation. For example, by enabling a solution of a, let's say, connected products using IoT, I again go back. It has actually done as it has gained a business efficiency and saved on my bottom line, with the productivity improvement, which means my maintenance guy can now do a proactive monitoring sitting here and can arrest a defect before it occurs, or at least take a step that it would not cause that much of a production loss. So it improves the bottom line. Now, how it has helped to increase the top line? Because, as I said, it's generating more business with the spares and service, because I am enhancing a customer experience. How now? I mean, I'll just go deep into that for 2 minutes. So imagine a case where you have your asset, which is on your petrol pump or somewhere, let's say a compressor or something. And imagine a case that if by doing this proactive monitoring, my person comes to know that probably after so many cycles of a warranty or something, or a defect which might occur, this part might have to be replaced. Now, gone are the old days where customer would raise a SR, my engineer would go, then order a spare part. Imagine a use case where my person is standing next to the door in the Delhi, in Anoop, for example, and saying, Anoop ji, कल आपका ये पार्ट अगर जाता है, जो वारंटी में है, अगर जाता है तो मैंने पार्ट लेके आए हो. So your production line doesn't stop. Now that's a real customer enhancement, and that's definitely going to give me a growth in the top line, and of course in the bottom line, because I have saved on so many man hours of doing a troubleshooting. So I guess that's how the ROIs or the business value of the technology investments should be measured or are measured.
No, excellent. And I think I completely agree with you. You have to be very future focused. And by doing, just this example, it also allows you to plan your supply chain in terms of getting predictive in terms of what, because it will go back into your manufacturing cycle in terms of, at what points and what times you need those parts. But excellent. Thanks. I think we've had some great insights from you. But before we let you go, we'd like to understand, Mandar, looking back on your professional journey, what pivotal moments and decisions have shaped your leadership journey and also that can guide through for future CXOs?
Uh, I would believe there are. there is only no one as such point which has shaped the leadership journey. I would rather take it in a bits of 3 or 4 points, which were really a pivotal moments or decisions, I would say. So first and foremost, I think you should look for a good mentors is what I always say, because you always have a third party unbiased view on whatever you do, whether it is tech, business, your personal life decision, anything. So good mentors is one which has really shaped, and I was fortunate to work in a groups like Tata, Cummins, Kirloskars, Mahindras, when I got a good mentor. So that was number one. Secondly, I think it's a continuous learning journey, whatever role you play, rather from CTO to director to a developer to a infrastructure guy. So continuous learning has been a real game changer for me, because the, as you say, the tech is evolving at a faster pace and you need to be part of it. If you're not in the part of this journey, you're out of the game. So that's one. Thirdly, I think switching gears at the right time in line with the current trends. So I think that was one of the key pivotal moments. Just to cite an example, in 1996, when there was a start of a cyber security kind of a crimes which were happening, and that is where I switched my gears to move to the cybersecurity domain, and where there were very few people who were in that business. And I think now that has shaped me in terms of career to go to this stage. And happy to announce that I'm now also cybersecurity advisor for Maharashtra State Skill University. So switching gears and being with the current trends of the technology is very very important. And jumping into it, learning the new domains, learning the business knowledge has become very very important now. If you're a tech guy who's working in a silos without understanding a big picture, it's not going to help. You can't just be focused on requirement आया और मैंने दे दिया. No, you have to be in line with the business to understand a big picture, how it's going to help the business KPIs. So that's the skill definitely every tech person should learn. You should have a business knowledge. I think fourth or the fifth point I would say is I was also instrumental in ensuring that I learn new domains. So I've been through the domains of your telecom, I've been to the domains of engineering, I've been to the domains of manufacturing, I've been to the domains of BFSI. So all this helped me as I did the switching of the gears and changed my career paths. And of course, being the soft skills like being humble, trustworthy, following commitment with the right response time, very very important. I think these were the pivotal moments and decisions shaped my journey and where I am now. So thank you.
No, thanks a lot for that, Mandar.
Thank you to Anoop, to you too, and the team.